Welcome to Community Blaze Podcast. I'm your host, Jimmy, and here we have our guest.
My name's Steven Parkin, Twitch username as Brulf.
Hi, I'm Ollie Steele, I work at Sheffield Hallam University, and I don't have a Twitch username.
Tell us about yourselves and what do you do?
Oh, of course. So a little bit about me. So I'm Steven Parkin, born and bred in Sheffield. Unfortunately, my side of the family is not a Sheffield United fan. Doesn't mean that I'm not. I'm a Stevenage Borough fan, so Stevenage FC. And the reason why is all my school friends were like Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday, and I felt like I was the guy in the middle. So I chose a team in Blue Square Premier South Division, Stevenage, and I've followed them ever since. Twitch username's Brulf. I'm a Twitch partner. I've been streaming since 2019. I managed to get Twitch partnership in around 6 months, which I'm really excited to share with you guys. Good strategy on how to do that and how I achieved that. And what do I do for a living? I pioneer mental well-being in the gaming space. I'm a big believer that online gaming can be used for therapeutic value, therapeutic benefits, and to reach young people in a place they call safe, a place that they enjoy, is a really good tool and mechanism to educate them about resilience, well-being, nutrition, diet, physical fitness, and my goal is to look after them people and support them, but also the whole next generation of gamers to teach them about safety, safeguarding, and all them aspects. So very passionate about that.
Yes, Ollie Steele. I teach at Sheffield Hallam University for the eSport Management degree. I also teach here at Sheffield United Community College, specifically on the eSport Enterprise module. Not Twitch affiliated or anything like that, but my gamer tag is a Flabby Piggy. Since I was 12 years old, me and my friends are gamer tag. I just love it. Been committed ever since. My passion. I really like that you've linked on about the next generation of gaming. That is my passion. We're currently in a bit of a winter of esports in business. We've seen external traditional businesses enter into the esport market, not make the best of decisions, and we're seeing the repercussions of that now.
Sure.
My focus as being an educator is to develop that next generation of leaders and managers of esports, so to provide the basic understanding of the esports industry alongside the basic enterprise business skills with business skills. So then the next generations can come in to help esports become the largest in the world. Because I always say it's no longer if it's going to become massive, it's now when.
Absolutely.
And then you guys, it's making sure that you become that next...
ecosystem, aren't you?
Yeah, it's making sure that they're not coming in and doing traditional sports in esports. They've not seen it's working out. We're now starting to get the other end of it and really developing that leadership for the students.
Brilliant, I like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. About going back on the gamer tags, what was your thought process when you made your gamer tag?
Let you go first, man.
So, Brulf is mine.
Yeah.
Obviously, I started mine in 2019. So my original gamer tag was irrelevant. I don't think I can say it, to be honest.
Same.
But my 2019 gamer tag is Brulf, and the reason behind that is in 2019 I had 2 dogs.
Oh.
Got 2 little puppies at the time. One was called Bruce, and one was called Ralph. So I got the first part of Bruce and the last part of Ralph. I put the names together and it made Brulf, which is very much the same way as I got named as a human. So my name's actually Stevan.
Oh.
My dad's called Steve and my mum's called Anne. So put the names together to make Stevan. So it's the same concept for my Twitch username. Thanks, Mum and Dad.
I love that. My name came from the good old Xbox 360 Modern Warfare 2 Gamer Clan party days. So there was actually about 7 or 8 of us with all kind of different names. So I was a Flabby Piggy, we had a Baffled Panda, a Drunk Sloth, just a load of them. And with me it stuck because my brother, so his name, again, the silly name, his gamer tag's Cheesy Meat. But he's had that his whole life. So when I was a kid, I always thought, you have your gamer tag, that is your gamer tag. So it's just kind of stuck, the Flabby Piggy. I loved it ever since.
These names remind me of, there's a game that I stream called Zombs Royale.
Oh.
Okay.
And there's a button on your keyboard, it's F9, and what that does, it puts it onto anonymous mode.
Right.
So if you play the
Oh,
game
yeah.
and someone's got, I don't know, a racist name or
Yeah.
a provocative name, you press, especially when you're streaming, you press streamer mode, and it anonymizes all the names.
Right.
But the names that it
Yeah.
anonymizes is
Yeah.
like, floppy pig or I don't know,
Yeah.
elated lion. Just
Well,
really random things.
It's so the feather in my cap is if you Google my name, my Halo account comes up. It's not very good, but it comes up.
Very interesting names. What games did you enjoy when you grew up?
Oh, so I was a Call of Duty sweat.
Oh.
COD 4 days. That's when I started. I started playing at college. I started playing at a very young age, playing Call of Duty 4. I think my play time on COD 4 was around 48 days of play
48
time.
days.
Yeah, so if you put that into hours, it gives you an idea of how many hours I played COD 4 for. Then I moved on to World at War, obviously because the game came out, and naturally you progress to the new COD. And I started competing professionally. Back then, when I used to compete, I was below 18, but there was no rules or anything like that. You just rock up to a tournament with your games console, and you just plug in and play. Basically, that's how it was back when I used to play. There was nothing really online. I didn't play in any elite leagues or anything like that. It was more just like local and domestic stuff. But my claim to fame on World at War is on the global public leaderboard. I was 97th in score on the world.
Nice.
So I was technically a top 100 player whilst in full-time education.
Ooh.
Wow.
So if you took all the hackers off as well, I reckon I was in top 20.
We'll take it.
Top 20. Can't confirm that though, but I don't know who was hacking.
No one could unconfirm it though.
Yeah.
Can they?
But
So-
no one can confirm it. That's it. I used to play Club Penguin.
Yeah.
So I was. If you type in my original name was Steve T. Parkin. Obviously that's my name. If you type that in on Google, it will come up with Club Penguin. So I used to be a moderator for Miniclip. That was a partner of Club Penguin, and I was number 27th on the world famous penguin list.
Wow.
I was
Fair.
a famous penguin just
Love
because
that.
I was a moderator for Miniclip. Yeah. Not,
Definitely a bigger claim to fame than me.
but yeah, that's my gaming.
Yeah.
Clod and Club Penguin.
So yeah, mine started out the same, very much on Call of Duty. We're an Xbox country here in the UK. But I think my thing that really got me into especially esports was watching my brother. So I say I'm the generation of younger brother, asking if it's my turn to play yet and getting told to jog on. Watching my brother play StarCraft and StarCraft 2 on his computer in the early 2000s, got addicted. And then the true addiction came in season 2 of League of Legends. I've been playing now for I think about 12 years, so definitely sold my soul. Only ever got to the highest was gold in rank, so swiftly learned if you can't play, teach, and that's what I'm here now.
That's a really
Wow.
good thing to say. That you can't beat him, teach him.
Yeah.
Teach them. Yeah, because I'm a college student and I'm like curious about like how was your college school life? Like when you were like
Okay, that's a great question.
Mm.
So I studied A levels at college.
Ooh.
So it was really forced upon me. So I finished school at 16. My GCSEs. My GCSEs were just average. I think I got like an A, B, C, 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 and a D or something like that. They weren't amazing. But I had my first job at 16. I was a Zamboni driver at Sheffield, just up the road. Yeah, I did that for a couple of years. That was great for about a week until you do the same circle over and over again. But no, I love that job. But I think at the time my school kind of forced me into A levels, which was fine because I'm glad I did it. Otherwise I'd have just left with just GCSEs. I did my A levels, and my A levels were again just very basic. I think I got a C, C, C. I think I'll say a C, C, and a C. And the reason I tell this story is I think it's what you learn at college is great, but I think when you put your skills you learn into real life, is when I think impact starts to happen. So my professional career, I've been a general manager of an arena. I've oversaw multiple sites for food and beverage from a financial point of view. I was a major events manager, and I've got no qualifications apart from my A levels, which were just probably average. So my college life was, I found it difficult because I struggled academically to learn. I was very much a person that I learn by doing rather than sitting, revising and doing exams. But I wish that I knew about the course that you're on, to be honest, because everything that I learnt myself outside of the A levels, so how to communicate, how to hold a conversation, resilience when life knocks you down, how to utmost your confidence and composure, all the stuff that I learned through my personal journey of gaming, of being isolated, being bullied at school, got me to where I am today, got me onto a successful path. And I think the course that you're doing, the esports BTEC, encapsulates the things that I learn on my own and takes it to another level.
Yeah.
So I think my answer to your question is I struggled at college because it weren't the right thing for me, but this course would have been the right thing for me. Is probably how I want to answer that.
Same with me in like GCSEs. I was learning GCSEs and I was kind of lost. I was like, what are all these knowledge I'm learning? I'm not doing anything practical. The only practical work I did do was working for my parents under their business, which taught me a lot of skills, communications, and like problem solving and stuff. But mainly in school, like the teacher, before like coming to this college, I was on the urge of picking A levels because the teacher was hyping my grades up, saying that I should pick A levels.
Yeah.
I should pick A levels.
Very similar to
However, in GCSE's time, like the exam time, I just felt so demotivated on revision, and started gaming, and results came back average. I was pretty average. Did further maths too. So I was like, okay, why not just pick this course? Because this course was my backup course if I didn't do well in my A levels. The teacher was like, oh, I don't know about this course. This careers teacher's telling me that this course is new, we don't know about it, it's a bit risky. And I was like, oh, that sounds something like they never tell me before. So I just picked this course to risk it.
I think you did the right decision.
Yeah, good for you taking that risk
I
as
think
well.
you did the right decision.
I learned a lot from this course. I got qualifications, first aid, leadership qualifications. I think it's just beneficial for future if I want to get a job or start my own career or business.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Like my college life, I think if anyone who knew me at college and knows me now, I'm a completely different person. I've done a complete 180. I was not the best student in the world. College, I think I did A levels for 2 months and then dropped out. I found girls at the same time as college, and I was like yourself. So my mum, I was raised by my single mum, and she had 2 boys, myself and my brother. So she very much drilled into us: go to school, go to college, go to uni. And I only found out there's other options when I got to college. So I always remember this conversation. I was on the bus going with my friend to college, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to go to my next lesson." And I was like, "What do you mean you have to go?" And she's like, "No, I don't." And I was like, "What? You don't have to? What?" That's a whole world open to me. Probably not a good world. Dropped out and then ended up doing health and social care. So I was actually going to be a nurse before doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, so worked full time in a dementia care home. Was doing placements in the hospital. Going to be a nurse. And then the year I was going to go to university for it was the year they stopped funding. So I was like, don't really fancy paying to go work in a hospital and not get paid at the end of it. So didn't do that, and then just stumbled onto business. And I'm very much like yourself. In college, I only went because I had to go. I was last year of funding. My mum was like, well, what else are you going to do? And I was like, work in Mackey's. And she was like, let's not. So I stayed into it. But yeah, I'm very much yourself. I think too many people get forced into stuff and don't do into it. And I'm proud of yourself there, saying you got told there was a risk in it and you were a high sheet and you took that risk. There's not many people at your age will do that, and I think you are going to really reap the benefits from that.
And I think, and I just can't stress the skills that I learned, that you're learning today, has got me to where I am.
Yeah.
So, well done, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm like a semi-professional Valorant player, so I want to ask about like what was your experience as a COD pro, because my experience and your experience is like way different. We don't get to go to like events and just play. We do go to some events, but it's not like,
Yes, I can imagine it being very different. So there was no like Call of Duty League or anything. Like so I travelled to Europe for a competition. That's probably my claim to fame. But for us to compete, or at least when I used to compete, it weren't anything like international or global recognised or anything like that. It was like domestic and stuff like that. But you compete on Valorant, you'd have to do qualifiers online.
Yeah.
And there's a big part on who's got the best computer, who's got the best FPS, who's got the best internet
Yeah.
connection, who's got the best equipment. All this has a massive impact on where you finish in your league. But back when I used to play, it was bring your Xbox 360 to a sports hall.
Yeah.
I competed in a sports hall. I remember it was in Madrid. Competing in a big sports hall. I think the prize was €20,000, and that was the top prize. So it's not actually that, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. I didn't win, and there was other aspects you had to think of. So if it was consoles already provided, and they were PlayStation consoles, we had to get a little USB device, because I played on an Xbox controller, to plug into the PlayStation so I could use my Xbox controller. And then about a year in using that, they actually got banned because people were hacking them or something. So then I wasn't allowed to use them, and then I stopped playing because I got face on. PlayStation was a bloody better console than the Xbox, I think, back then.
It's the free internet, wasn't it? That was it. Because 360 had to pay for live, so they shifted onto live.
So everything was on PlayStation, which was a bit annoying. But no, I enjoyed it. It was very different. There was no money back then. There was no real sponsors. And if you wanted to be the best, and I can't talk for the professionals that competed in the international leagues and for a team. We competed for our own little team that we had funded by a group of guys from Sheffield, ex-SBM. But so I can't talk for the big guys like the phase players and all that. But I think times has changed significantly. And it's now turned into a commercial enterprise rather than a bit of fun like you would play at a five-a-side league or Sunday league football or semi-professional football or something like that. Because there's no money in semi-professional football. You still need a full-time job to play in football at that low league, at least I imagine. So
I think it's getting there with all the Wrexham and eyes are getting on there. And I think esports is following suit. So
and I think esports is the next one. But I don't know what your opinion on that is. I'm pretty sure that's quite a mouthful of a sentence to say that.
Yeah.
It was done online. It was done offline.
Well, I agree though. We're seeing that sentiment now with the change of phase, aren't we?
Yeah.
Of phase where they became a massive corporate, and they were trying to, like you say, become a very conglomerate, making money, not making the right decisions. Now they've just cut like 80% of their staff down to like from 100 to 10, to then become more for the fun, for the brand and into that. So I think we're starting to see the full like 180, 360 circle of it all coming in. So it'd be quite interesting to see and definitely follow through with that.
Yeah. Moving from this subject, now we're at a special event, Spin the Wheel. You want to spin the wheel and there's some questions here.
Ooh,
I didn't see this.
Yeah, this is our special,
That's so cool.
This is cool.
Or ask the host a question.
Oh, I get to ask you something.
Yeah, both of you can ask me a question.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to think. All right. So, imagine me and Ollie. I'm gonna steal this from your activity there that you do because I really liked it. Imagine me and Ollie are dragons from Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den.
If I were to give you £50,000 to invest in a product. In this industry. What would it be and why?
What would it be and why? Very hard question.
Really testing what you've learned in your course.
Yeah,
Alright, I'll definitely invest in my product that we made as a enterprise because we did an enterprise course and we're making our own products. So it's called a breathable t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, so it allows gamers to when gaming, a lot of gamers when gaming they sweat a lot and it makes them uncomfortable and it could decrease their performance. So with a breathable t-shirt, when you're gaming you could have you could feel more comfortable and more relaxed when gaming, which could increase your performance. And it will be useful in sports too because sports people do exercise and sweat a lot. So
awesome.
I really like that as well because normally when you see esport jerseys, they're really thick material, aren't they? You think when you're under the lights as well.
Here, aren't we? This feels like a quite a thick jersey, isn't it?
So you see it across the board. So I really like that. So my question for you is, obviously you come onto the course knowing it was a risk, What was the big factor that made you take that leap of faith?
Oh, that's a great
What's the
question.
big factor that made me take the leap
Yeah,
of
because
faith?
obviously you got a lot of pushback. I'm guessing, were your family supportive of it, or were they a bit questionable as well?
My mother and father was questionable. My mother didn't support it. My father was like, he did his own research before entering. He knows Sheffield United as a big brand, but he didn't know that much about esports. So he did research about esports. It was a good timing too, because when I was about to join this course, like, you know, esports become like an Olympic, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it was like in the Olympics, and my father was like, yeah, that's like a great opportunity, and he just let me do it. It was like, it's my life, so I just did it.
That's
Most
great.
of
I love that.
Yeah.
those time it's just like, I enjoyed gaming, and that's probably why I joined it. And esports and business got me interested, because I saw the course. It was psychology and business was my two favorites, and gaming is just a hobby. So I just decided to join here. I just risked it, because all the teachers was like A levels, and I was like, everyone is doing A levels, so I'm competing with like people that are more talented than me. So why not just take a new risk, like esports industry? I feel like I could find more opportunities and job careers in this industry when I graduate.
I love that. So the name of that is the big fish, small pond approach.
Yeah.
You know, be a big fish in a small pond rather than the big fish in a big pond with all the A levels. I love that, mate. Really good.
Well done.
Yeah.
Just looking at some of these other things, and these are brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
Football memories.
Wanna spin another one? We got one more spin.
Oh, go get another.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
want to do
you
a
go
spin?
for it. You go for it.
Oh, because I've got a right good football memory as well.
Yeah, this ball's a bit broken. Sometimes lands on the same one. Oh. Unpopular food choices, like, you know, food that is like underrated, that you think should be, you know.
So it's not underrated. A very unpopular one. Mashed potato is disgusting. Cannot stand mashed potato.
Ooh.
It's just baby food.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave today.
There you go.
Unpopular food choices. What do I like that's really weird, or don't like that's really okay? I don't. I have a Sunday dinner every Sunday, and I don't put gravy on my Sunday dinner.
Oh, that's sacrilege there.
I do the same.
You don't do gravy either.
Yeah, but I don't do gravy. They
I
never
don't-
give me
don't-
gravy.
Don't do gravy.
My heart hurts.
Don't do
When I was
gravy.
at uni, I used to run a carvery. And my claim to fame, it was the best carvery in Buckingham. It's the only carvery. But I just love my roast and have gravy.
Oh.
No,
Northern and
don't
crying.
like gravy on my dinners. I don't like soggy food. So I don't like gravy in my dinner.
What is the course at Sheffield University? Bali?
Yeah, so we are running an esports management degree. So first caveat on that is we don't teach people how to play games. We're not professional players. We are very much in esports management. The tagline I say is we develop and grow the next generation of leaders and managers in esports. So as I said before, we run a bit of a winter. We've seen managers from sports, traditional business, come into the industry, try and make decisions that would normally work in traditional business, but then swiftly realise the esports industry is very, very different. And the question that I always have at the forefront of my mind for this course is, why do I need an esports degree to work in esports? Because currently you don't. If you're good at something, you just go and do it. If you're good at marketing, go and do it. Where we come into it is we provide the baseline understanding of how the industries work, how the different game titles work themselves, give that baseline understanding alongside with the practical experience to actually create a portfolio of work. So again, if you like marketing, you go and do marketing in the fame of esports. And the whole thing is that you hit with us for 3 years. We've got our own esports lab and facility with content creation in there. So you can create your own content for 3 years, run your own events, just do whatever. Like my background's business enterprise, I'm very much throwing you at the world, get experience. And you do that and you build a portfolio for 3 years. And then when you go into the real world, it's I've got a degree, I've learned all this information, here's what I know with it, and here's my portfolio to show it. At the conversation I said before is that you can go to an employer and go, hey, I see you've got this issue in your business, it's costing you say £50 a day. I've got a solution for £30 a day. You're saving yourself £20. It's all about creating that portfolio to make yourself those jobs, because an esports industry, about 80% of the jobs aren't on job markets. It's who you know and what you know.
And do you know, it's a really interesting point you said about what happens in the esports world is very different to the outside world of esports. And I think the way I portray that message across is, you look at sports, so football, tennis, rugby, golf. You look at esports, you know, Rocket League, League of Legends, Apex, COD, whatever. So, sports, esports. Football's got a governing body, it's got commercial teams, it's got leagues, it's got sponsors. Rocket League, it's got a governing body in a way, it's got esports governing body, it's got leagues, it's got commercials, it's got teams. Who owns football?
FIFA.
No one owns football.
True.
So no one owns football. No one owns tennis. You know, I can go play tennis today. No one owns it. Who owns Rocket League?
Just my knowledge, is it Square Enix, isn't it?
Epic
Games. Yeah.
So the point is they're not the same because no one owns football. No one owns tennis. It's just a sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, someone owns Rocket League.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
And there's for me, I'm very passionate about like safeguarding and stuff like that. And I'm a big believer you can't take like physical safeguarding models from football and bring it into esports because it's so different. It's so vastly different. There's so many different avenues and different ways and different procedures we should be looking into and stuff like that. So I just want to expand your point about it being so different, and I think that's the clearest indicator I can give to people to say no one owns football, someone owns Rocket League.
And I think a big on that as well, a big thing as well, traditional sports, we're used to paying to watch it.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch Premier League football, you pay BT. If you want to, I don't know about tennis and all this stuff, but there's a lot of other sports you traditionally pay. The way you consume esports, YouTube and Twitch, both free. So trying to convert people who are used to consuming content for free to buy something is a completely different kettle of fish than someone who's used to buying something to watch it and then actually converting it. And that's the issue of where traditional sports are used to people paying. So like mixed martial arts, football, they'll pay a pay-per-view to watch it. They're already more inclined to start selling, buying stuff from sponsors. If I'm watching a League of Legends tournament for free, it's really hard for me to engage and actually decide to buy something. Yeah. And that's why these traditional things don't work as much as well.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like esports is growing rapidly because everyone it's free, so basically everyone could just access it for without paying. Because some people don't have jobs, especially teenagers. But that's why esports for teenagers is more appealing compared to adults, because adults have jobs, they can actually pay for the membership. That's why esports to them is they don't know it that much because they don't normally just pay for what they watch. Yeah. Moving on to the next question. Why should people get involved in gaming?
This is more your wheelhouse to start.
Yes. So why is a great question. There's many answers to that, and I think the natural way for me to answer that is the skill development side of it and what you can learn and how you can be engaged with it, how you can connect with peers and connect with your friends, and there's no real boundaries, but it's how do you do all this safely, I think. So for me, I encourage everyone to get into gaming. We live in a world where when I was younger, probably the same for you, it was either you went outside and played football or you're inside playing games. We live in a world now where it's both. You are going outside and playing football and you are playing games, and that's quite evident if you look at Cole Shudra is a great example. Sheffield Steelers ice hockey player. He's just won Grand Slam, incredible ice hockey player. I got told by one of their managers that he absolutely loves NHL. So he's a massive gamer. Max Verstappen is another example. Number one F1 driver in the world. And I think he's in like top 20 on the esports as well. So
I think there's that basketball player as well. I can't remember. I think it's the Dallas Cowboys. I can't remember. What's it called? American football team. But there's a basketball player who's really, really famous, and he's top 200 in Overwatch.
There you go. So the point is for anyone that enjoys gaming, we're not saying don't game because it's bad for you. We're saying game. There's loads of benefits. There's dangers out there. So there's online safety. There's playing too much. There's getting addicted to it. So play in a structured way. There's loads of resource out there to find out what's right and what isn't right with gaming. So I'm just going back to the professional athlete. Another example is I was watching Sky Sports News the other day, like I do, and they have that mystery player that pops up every now and then. And the mystery player, I can't remember his name, but he played in the La Liga. And the question one was, because it gives you 3 questions, you got to guess who it is. Question 1 was, he's played against Ronaldo and Messi, because he's been in the La Liga. Question 2 was, he was top 10 in the world on COD.
Oh, wow.
So imagine being a professional football player, playing against Messi and Ronaldo, but also being top 10 in the world for COD. And that's because of the resilience, the composure, the reactions. He's physically fit. He's got a great diet. He's got a
Dedication as
personal
well.
trainer. Yeah, all these physical and mental attributes that he's gained from the real world is implementing into gaming. So, by all means, there's so many benefits from gaming. If you do it structured, you do it safely, it can affect your physical body, mind, body, spirit. It's good for your well-being. It's good for your mental health. Loads of positives. And I think also, and I think Ollie will expand on this, is, as Ollie said, the opportunities are growing in this industry. It's growing at such a rapid pace. Even I can't keep on track on how fast it's growing. So I see you guys as in you doing the BTEC, as pioneers for the next generation of this industry, because this industry's developed very much from doing that.
Yeah.
And it's only recently where corporates are now pulling strategies together and investing in sponsorship. And I think I saw a great talk from Callum Neal from British Esports state that I think the prize pool for the Esports World Cup's like $45 million or something like that. And that's all done from sponsors because of the eyes that are watching it. So I think with what you're doing at the university and what you're doing here with the college, I think we're now shaping and reforming the future of esports, and I think this is where it's an opportunity for the next generation of people going through college to depict on what this industry is going to look like and shape the industry to what you think's going to be right. I think there's loads of opportunities out there that aren't being executed the way that they probably should be, and that's because of the whole finger in the air approach, because it's just grown that quickly. You could say that they've had 5 years, 10 years planning all this, which sounds like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, look how long football's been going on for, and look how long it's took to refine football, and that's still corrupt. So, so I think for anyone who has a passion with gaming, has a passion in looking after themselves, and a passion for helping others and reaching out to others, but also a passion for shaping the sport that they love, which is esports, gaming's for them.
Yeah. I think a big thing for me for gaming is the sense of community as well. So I love playing online games, but my true love that's recently developed over the years through COVID is playing Warhammer, so the mini figurines.
Oh.
So it's a very different aspect of gaming, but it's more of the physical bringing it into the real world. And the reason why I like it so much is, so originally before, I'm not from Sheffield, I've not lived, this is the first time I've lived here. I originally lived in Blackpool. And I moved over here, meet my partner and I knew nobody apart from work. But through having that playing Warhammer, I could go out to local shops and have conversations with people, and it removes that awkwardness. So there's only been a couple times in my life where I've always felt I'm not weird to just go and introduce myself to someone. So the first time was Freshers Week at university. I always remember the point, I saw a group of people and I was like, oh, I want to go meet them. I was like, oh no, it'd be a bit weird if I just go out. I was like, actually no, this is one of the few weeks in my life where I'm supposed to just go and introduce and talk to people. And then one of the second times was when I went to a Warhammer shop, because they're talking about stuff that I know. I can have that conversation. I don't have to be like awkward. I can just jump in the conversation and no one's like, who's this guy? What's he on about?
Yeah.
It was just that general, like, that common understanding, that common interest. And I think that across the board with gaming, and that's something I've really valued since working in education with esports. So all my friends don't like esports, don't like League of Legends. I'm the only person who played League of Legends, apart from obviously my friends online. Now that I'm coming here, I can have conversations about my massive passion.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's what I love. It's that sense of community. My nerdiness can come out. If I start talking to my mum about League of Legends, she looks at me like,
what are you on about?
What is this? She's like, yeah, gaming. But that's my biggest part, is that I can just really nerd out, and like, 'cause I love layers. I love it where I can just jump on a game, have a bit of fun, then start learning strategies, learning the builds, really getting into in depth with that kind of stuff. And if I have a conversation with someone who's the same, that's where I'm
and you make friends for life
Yeah.
as well. And you know, there's when I started streaming in 2019, I've got a team of people that run my community server. Never met them, but I feel the relationship that I built with them, I can trust them.
Yeah.
I can trust them looking after my server. You know, there's a lady called Julie. I won't say her full name, but her username's just called Care Ebermeath, which is like a Greek goddess name or whatever. That's her username. But she has been by my side online since 2019. Every stream she's been there every stream
Amazing.
as a moderator. She's looked after all my community servers. I've got a server called Endzone, which has got like 4,000 people in. She single-handedly looks after that because I'm never on Discord because I'm so inactive because I'm so busy. She looks after it every Sunday. I used to stream throughout lockdown Endzone event, which is how I got my Twitch partnership. That event still goes on today.
Amazing.
Because Care has recruited streamers, built partnerships. She don't get paid for it.
Love it.
She does it by the goodness of her own heart. And it's not just Care. There's a few others. There's someone called Mama Mer, who's this lady from Germany who moved to Ireland. So I know so much about these people. I never met them, but you develop such a close relationship with them all. There's a young guy called Melko from America. I met him when he was, I think, 15 years old because he was competing in my game. He was one of the competitors. He was one of my subscribers. And just over the years, he keeps coming into the chat, get to know him. He now runs a community of like 5,000 people.
Oh, amazing.
It's his community, it's his Discord server, it's his community. And he actually just sent me a message today, just asking how I am, catching up. He's added me on LinkedIn. He's 18 now.
Oh, wow.
He's 18 now. He's asked if I'm going to be his professional reference because
Nice.
I've worked with him on this server and all that. And that's because I met him online on a game, and there was that mutual connection of we both love this game. And I think you could be 18, you could be 54. There's no age difference really. It's about connecting together on a game and then enjoying the game together.
Yeah.
And my enjoyment was I was rubbish at playing the game. My enjoyment was streaming the game. So I got a kick from my community, enjoying it.
Wow. Busy. And finally, last question: where do you see the industry going? It's like
I think you can answer this one.
Yeah, I'll jump on that.
Absolutely perfectly.
So I can see, as I say, the common thing I love to say is it's no longer if esports is going to become massive. I think it's when. And I could even argue, I think, shouldn't really be saying this in Sheffield United, Bramall Lane. I think it's going to become bigger than football down the years. I think it's esports in gaming is more inclusive. So if you're not physically able, you can still play. If you've got other needs or stuff like that, you are still able. There's a low barrier of entry compared to traditional sports. And then we're also, as I say, I'm from the generation of younger brother asking, can I play, can I watch? I'm used to watching stuff, and eventually when I have children, they'll do the same and we'll watch it and go in. So I can see it has the potential to become the largest sport or entertainment in the world. It just comes down to, as we said, to your guys' generation of how that attracts. It can either go really well, or we could see it go really wrong through business actions and business, which we've seen traditionally. So it all comes down to the next generation. But honestly, I could see it. BBC Saturday afternoon. I could see a League of Legends tournament. We've seen it, but I could see it traditionally, consistently happening.
I agree. There you go. Thanks. No, I agree. I think I'm just going to shed some not negative, but my concern is that if we don't start having action on safety online,
Yes.
changing the current culture of gaming, promoting the physical stuff with, for example, what you guys doing at Sheffield United. I think as an industry we need to look at a physical crossover as well, and I think that's problems that need to be solved. I think especially the safety online. I think that's the biggest growing concern. I think I briefly spoke to you guys about radicalisation online. So that one of the biggest threats at the moment is young vulnerable people turning to video games. And then being radicalised online, either sexual grooming, it could be extremism. There's a surplus of dangers online. So how do we protect them people? And I think that's where you guys are coming in with these courses and stuff like that. Being able to educate them about the dangers and the safety and all the positive things that comes with gaming. And I think eventually over the years, if we do it right, from a grassroots level, which is myself, and from an educational level from you, and obviously as you move on from your BTEC and you go into this industry, if we do it right, we've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
It's if we don't do it right, and we forget about the current openings of potential dangers.
Yeah, I think it comes down to people's lack of confidence. I think that's where most of things that go wrong and people getting exploitation, it comes through the lack of confidence. So if it's an older person with the scam calls, they're worried, they have the confidence, I don't have this.
Agree, yeah.
A younger person being groomed, it's a lack of self-confidence in themselves. And I think as the industry grows, because when we were younger, if you play games, you were a nerd, weren't you?
And you know, I used to play Call of Duty Search and Destroy game chat. Apparently every single person's been with my mother at some point.
Yeah.
You know? that's the abuse you used to get online.
It was
and that still exists. So how do we tackle that? I think that's an answer where I think we've got individual solutions.
Yeah.
But we can't do it as an individual. I have a solution. I know how to tackle it. I can deliver it. I can deliver it to each starfish that I'm chucking back in the sea. But how do we throw all the starfish back in? We need to come as an industry, and I think that's where we just need to remember that as an industry, and we can tackle that and we can support that. And I think the people in this room understand that fully, and I think there's thousands of people that also understand it fully. But you know, you can't tackle the big guys without coming together as one, as a community.
And we're seeing that as well. So we're seeing companies like Activision Blizzard getting called out for their stuff, and people are taking action. So we're down the right path for it.
Yeah. So I think we're getting there, and we just need to keep at it and not veer off.
Definitely.
We are getting there.
Major companies like Riot Games are like doing their best to like tackle them, calling out streamers for them to make promotional videos to like tackle toxicities and stuff.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So we are getting there, but the reality is it is a dangerous place.
Yeah.
So we need to do it safely. We need to do it structured, and I'm just going to revert back a little bit. So I did an activation at Meadow Hall with the charity I used to work for, and we spoke to 1,000 parents. Not one parent said they didn't like their child playing games. Not one. They all said, "Oh, I love little Jimmy playing Fortnite. It unlocks his creativity, his confidence. It's brilliant." But I don't know who he's playing with.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's playing with, and that's somehow we need to figure out. I think a good educational way of doing it is what I'm doing in my personal capacity, where we create cohorts of students in a safe environment where they're verified and manually verified, and then educate them about the dangers and put them in that circle. So when they step outside of the circle, these are the dangers.
Yeah.
Because the reality is they're going to be playing games.
Yeah.
They're going to be going on Discord. And if you ban them from Discord, they're going to go to the mate's house and go on Discord.
Yeah.
So let's embrace it and let's educate them about it.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely.
Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our YouTube, Spotify and podcasts.